What's up, guys? Welcome to the Line Change. And in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 Vancouver Canucks who will most likely be feeling or facing the most pressure in 2025-2026. We're going to go over an article from our friends at Canucks Army that lists 5 Canucks, only 5, not more, not less, 5 that will be facing the most pressure in 2025-2026, as I mentioned. And right off the bat, you can probably guess who either a couple of them or a few of them are. Guys like Elias Pettersson, Thatcher Demko, just to name a few. And as you can tell by the thumbnail, by the way, that thumbnail took me a really long time to do. Wanted to do something a little different, do a little something, retro or skate. And that is what I turned out with. But before we dive into this article, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Gassy Jack Art, maker of that incredible artwork you see there behind me. And you guys can check them out yourselves at GassyJackArt.com. I do have the link to his website in the description down below. You guys can also check him out on Instagram at GassyJackArt. So let's go ahead and dive into this article. Once again, as I mentioned, from our friends at Canucks Army. And this article in particular is written by a friend of the podcast, friend of the show, Mr. David Quadrelli. To some extent, everyone on the Vancouver Canucks has a decent amount of pressure on them heading into the 2025-2026 NHL season. After a phenomenal 2023-24 season that exceeded all expectations and saw the Canucks come within a single game of the Western Conference Final, 2024-2025 couldn't have been much more disappointing. Long stretches of poor play and some absolutely brutal efforts on home ice destroyed much of the goodwill this group had built with the fan base in 2023-24. What the club did that season was quickly viewed as a fluke for a team that hadn't done much winning over the past 10 years. So heading into 2025-26, the pressure is back on. The players, namely the ones who signed new contracts this offseason, seem eager and confident that things can get back on the rails next season. That alone puts a certain level of pressure and expectations on the team to succeed, which is all fans really want at the end of the day. But individually, which Canucks have the most pressure on them heading into the 2025-2026 season? Let's take a look. Starting with number 5, Nils Höglander. Year 1 of Nils Höglander's 3-year extension with an annual price tag of $3 million is officially upon us. It's important to tell the story of how the Canucks and Höglander even got to this point. After showing flashes of offensive brilliance on a Canucks team whose best top 6 options outside of Höglander were Louis Eriksson and Jake Virtanen, it became harder for Höglander to earn the trust of his coaches in the subsequent years. As his ice time dipped, so too did his point totals. By the time Jim Rutherford and company arrived on the scene, it was abundantly clear that Höglander could use some time in the AHL as the bar began to be raised in Vancouver. Höglander did as he was asked and put up a respectable 32 points in 45 AHL games, while being a point-per-game player in the Abbotsford Canucks' 6 playoff games. The next season, his Energizer Bunny-esque play seemed to have won over Rick Tocchet, and in the season where everything went right for many Canucks, Höglander was a big beneficiary. He put up 24 goals, all at even strength, and earned himself a 3-year extension worth $9 million. It looked like a potential steal at the time, but this past season, his final season at a $1.1 million cap hit, has given everyone pause. The goal scoring dried up for Höglander, who potted just 8 goals and added 17 assists through 72 games last season. He was back in a third coach's doghouse. Despite showing some flashes, turned in a disappointing 2024-25 campaign. And so with Adam Foote now at the helm and a decent amount of opportunity to be found in the Canucks' middle 6 forward group, Höglander enters 2025-26 with a good amount of pressure to live up to his new contract. After all, we know how quick this management group can be at moving out contracts they deem to be inefficient. Coming in at number 4, Thatcher Demko. For Thatcher Demko, it might be safe to say he's putting more pressure on himself than anyone else. Right after finally showing the league what the Canucks fans had known for years, that Demko is one of the NHL's very best goaltenders, thanks to a somewhat competent defensive environment in front of him for the first time ever. Demko's 2024-25 was riddled with confusion and frustration. After finishing as the runner-up to Connor Hellebuyck for the Vezina in 2023-2024, Demko didn't get a chance to train much during the summer of 2024. Instead, he was stuck searching for answers for a knee injury he suffered in the dying moments during the Canucks' first game of the 2024 Stanley Cup playoffs. The knee injury, which Demko described as rare and unique when speaking about it at training camp last fall, held him out until mid-December. Then on January 2nd, Demko exited versus a game, or rather, Demko left a game against the Seattle Kraken with back spasms. That was a small injury, but an injury nonetheless. Then just over a month later, on February 8th, it was another injury. Only this one was revealed to be a lower body injury that kept Demko out until the end of March. The end result, 2025-26, was something of a lost season for Demko. 2024-2025. A little bit of an error there by Quads. Despite that, Jim Rutherford made it clear that the Canucks wanted to get a contract extension done with Demko, and that's exactly what the two sides did. Rutherford cited confidence in Demko changing the way he's training, and by all accounts, Demko is enjoying a healthy offseason with ample time to prepare. Unfortunately, those question marks about his health won't go away until Demko turns in a healthy season. And with a new contract in hand, he's going to have a good amount of pressure to show once again that he can be relied upon as, quote-unquote, the guy for the Canucks in the blue paint. Coming in at number 3, Brock Boeser. Speaking of signing contracts, Brock Boeser got one too this offseason right before it was officially too late. Canucks GM Patrick Allvin called Boeser's agent on the morning of July 1st and hammered out a deal that will keep the homegrown sniper in Vancouver for the rest of his career. And while Boeser is a fan favorite and absolutely deservedly so, he's also the longest tenured Canuck. He's been around for a lot of losing, and while it's certainly not all his fault, some fans have already grown tired of the Canucks' current core group of players, and many were unhappy with the team doubling down and extending multiple players who haven't accomplished a heck of a lot in their time in Vancouver. As one of the team's highest paid players, Boeser will no doubt feel that pressure to perform and bring consistent winning hockey to the city after being here for so many dark years already. Coming in at number 2, Evander Kane. The reaction to the Canucks trading for Evander Kane was mixed, to say the least. This author admittedly was and still is a fan of the move and thinks Kane will find success in Vancouver. That being said, the simple fact that this is a contract year for Kane, combined with the fact that he's coming off a season where he missed the entire regular season due to injury, puts a great deal of pressure on Kane to succeed. Kane will be playing for what might be one final solid payday in the NHL, and the winger certainly sounded hungry and motivated when he spoke about the opportunity following the trade. Add in the restless fan base itching for winning hockey, the overall pressure of playing in a market like Vancouver, not to mention the hometown factor for Kane, and you've got a pressure-packed situation for Kane to be walking into for his first season as a Vancouver Canuck. And of course, coming in at number 1, Elias Pettersson. Finally, it's the player you knew would be on this list, and perhaps the player we need to write the least about, because everybody and their mother knows all about Elias Pettersson's struggles in year 1 of his $92.80 million 8-year contract, the richest ever handed out in Canucks franchise history. You know the story by now, but in case you don't, 2021-2022, 80 games, 32 goals, 36 assists, 68 points. 2022-2023, 80 games, 39 goals, 63 assists, 102 points. 2023-2024, 82 games, 34 goals, 55 assists, 89 points. 2024-2025, 64 games, 15 goals, 30 assists, 45 points. Those are the last 4 seasons for Elias Pettersson when it comes to his point production. The Canucks have made it clear they were unhappy with Pettersson's preparation last season, and while Pettersson made it clear he felt his knee injury held him back from training properly, the team didn't seem to want to hear it all that much, as it continued to be a topic of conversation through the end of this past season. Pettersson recently said he's eager to bounce back next season and that he's had a healthy offseason to this point. Year 1 was filled with pressure, and Pettersson couldn't overcome it. In year 2 of the deal, he'll have a chance to rewrite the story. Will these Canucks, along with the rest of their teammates, continue what their old coach told them to do, meet pressure with pressure? Or will the pressure be too much for this group that has done far more losing than they have winning? Only time will tell, and as it almost always is in Vancouver, it should be a fun ride no matter what. So that is 5 Vancouver Canucks who will be facing the most pressure in 2025-2026. Let me know in the comment section down below if there's a name that was not on this list that you would add on to it. Would you switch out somebody and replace them with said player? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. You can find us on social media. You can find us on Facebook. Just search The Line Change, and you can find our Facebook page. Find us on Instagram at The Line Change. Find us on X at Line Change Van. Find us on TikTok at the TLC Podcast. You can find us on Blue Sky at The Line Change, and feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. If you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcast. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow as well as rate and review us. It is, of course, greatly appreciated. But that's going to do it for me in this video. As always, let's go Canucks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.